Let's take a look at what's going on in the world now. In the United States, President Joe Biden has announced a plan to forgive student debt. The much-anticipated plan was announced on Wednesday and promises to deliver student debt relief to millions of Americans. Under the plan, individual borrowers earning under $125,000 annually or families earning under $250,000 annually are eligible to have $10,000 of their student debt cancelled. This is on top of another $10,000 in debt cancellation for those who received Pell Grants, given to students with greater financial needs. Biden also announced one final extension to the student loan repayment freeze until the end of this year. Figures show that a combined $1.6 trillion in student loans is owed by some 43 million Americans, with almost one-third owing under $10,000, whilst half owe under $20,000. The White House predicts the plan could wipe out student debt for some 20 million people. Thailand's Prime Minister was suspended from active duty on Wednesday after the government-leaning Constitutional Court voted 5-4 in favor of the move. The decision followed a petition from the country's opposition party. The document contested Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha's right to hold the top job, saying that he had already served the legally mandated term of 8 years. Petitioners say that Chan-o-cha's term officially began after he took over the government in a coup he started in 2014. But supporters of the suspended PM say that his term began in 2017 when Thailand's constitution and term limits were first introduced, while others say it began in 2019 upon his election win. Chan-o-cha's suspension will continue until the top court reaches a verdict on term limits, although no date on a ruling has been given. Women's rights activists in Afghanistan's capital Kabul have opened a library to provide a safe space and education for women. The library, which opened on Wednesday, houses over 1,000 books donated by authors, poets, and teachers. One of the founders of the library said it was built for girls unable to attend school and for women with nothing to do after losing their jobs. Under the Taliban, who took over Afghanistan last year, women wanting to go outside must be accompanied by a male relative and need to cover their faces. The Taliban have also issued restrictions that have put thousands of women out of work. Meanwhile, secondary schools for girls have remained mostly closed, despite a promise to reopen them in March. A new record has been set for the youngest person to fly around the world. 17-year-old pilot Mac Rutherford landed in Sofia, Bulgaria on Wednesday and in doing so ended a 5-month-long journey. His trip earned him 2 Guinness World Records, one for being the youngest person to fly around the world alone and another for being the youngest person to do so in a microlight plane, a title previously held by his sister. The journey took Rutherford through 52 countries across 5 continents. It lasted 142 days, covered over 54,000 kilometers, and had a cumulative flight time of 122 hours. Matthew Ashley, Arirang News.